Hello, everyone. We have been conducting these interviews for our knowledge portal, Voice Planet, and today we will be discussing about the agricultural and food production industry and the various stages that are involved and how they are contributing to climate change. To discuss with this issue, today we have with us Mr. Mandar Vaidya. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
So to begin with, I would like to, give a brief introduction of Mr. Mandar. So basically, he is currently working as a risk governance specialist for Red Eye India organization. He is a senior humanitarian professional with over 15 years of work in community development, contingency planning, public health promotion, and community-based disaster risk reduction. He is also involved in the organic agricultural production system and also training individuals to help them pursue it efficiently. He has exceptional understanding of community mobilization and disaster development linkages and substantial experience of coordinating networking and advocacy. He's also running an organization, Samyak Green, with a team of 11 experts from organic farming, biodiversity training, hospitality management, and watershed management, and promoting green living. So thank you so much for joining today, sir. We are really thankful for your valuable time.
I'm also excited to discuss with youth as always. My experience of interacting with youth, maybe directly or remotely, has always given me lot of new insights. So I know that online interviews generally have a lot of limitations, but I hope that this interview will also
yes.
for me as well.
Yes. Okay. So, sir, to begin with, I would like to, since you have been working in this organic agriculture production system for quite some time now, so can you please share something about this initiative for our viewers to let them know about this and also about the agricultural production resilience for small and marginal farmers?
Yes. When I look back to my entire journey of being with nature and agriculture, it actually takes me back to my childhood. And at that time, my grandfather used to stand in a long queue to get a bag of urea. And it was not very easily available. So people used to use it with a lot of wisdom. We also had a lot of cattle at home, and I have seen my grandfather and grandmother working in farm, and most of our efforts were to get our own food from the farm, and then whatever will be remaining will be converting it to cash. This is almost, I will say, almost 40 years back. And now when I look back to entire agriculture system, the entire agriculture system is geared towards cash crop and maximum yield. And I also got opportunity to interact with many farmers from India in rural areas of Maharashtra, especially during recent droughts from 2012, 16, 18, back to back. Also got opportunity to flood affected communities in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh. Also in Kashmir, I was there for almost 6 months after in post-earthquake time. I also have some experience of interacting with people in Afghanistan and also in Indonesia. So all this journey since my childhood was always providing me a lot of insights insights in food production system. Agriculture is one of the system in food production. In 2003-4, we as a group of youngsters and associated with NGOs, we started to discuss this entire idea of organic farming. At that time, we were just looking at natural resource management, and we found that organic farming is one way of natural resource management. And Then we started to discuss with many experts, and one of the experts uh, who has written a lot of things in natural agriculture. His name is Professor Sripad Dabholkar, who also has done a lot of experiments in agriculture, in urban agriculture as well. And from there, my entire insight started. And whenever we used to go to areas like Jalgaon, Ahmednagar, and we discuss with farmers, they used to say that they used to laugh, and then they used to say कि यार ये ऐसे नहीं होने वाला, you why are you wasting your time and our time as well, because and this is almost 2003 to 2007, and there I got a very strong aspiration to go back to my village, or at least to do something on ground, so that I will be able to live what I'm trying to do, or I'm trying to propagate in society. And we started with a barren land in Nasik, near Sinnar, and with bare minimum water. That land was not cultivated almost for 35 to 40 years, which was a good part of the story, because we wanted something. Climate was different, and the biomass availability was also different. It was plentifully available. That's why Dabholkar's book is also known as Plenty for All. But when we started, it was really a challenge for us to understand how to get biomass, how to harvest it, how to convert it into living soil. And slowly, from that point of time, we started. We also had a challenge that our farmland has got only 1 feet of soil depth. After that, we have boulders, big ones. So there is no other thing. And so it was a challenge, but we took that challenge and slowly started to do it. Today, I'm very glad that all my visits to farmers, visits to various organic farms around, a lot of reading, we are now able to say that we have conserved the biodiversity of our own farm. It's not very big farm, it's just 1.5 acre. We have got almost 200 different species of plants, which include trees, shrubs, grasses. We also have different types of snails in our farm. We also see a lot of birds in the morning. In fact, last year when we cultivated green pea in this season, we hardly used to get anything to eat. Most of the share was taken away by the birds. But one of the wise person has said that we also need to understand that when we do natural farming, some share will be going to nature again. And but we are glad that we have squirrels, we have mungus, and we also have rat snake. Sometimes we also see cobra. So that's how that entire biodiversity is conserved on the farm. And today, now we are able to claim that natural farming yields, and the entire effort also can take us as a family or as a community towards minimum carbon footprint, and that is what encourages us to take this effort ahead. Now we have, as you mentioned in my introduction, we are almost 11 people in Maharashtra, and we all have our own farms, and we will be now. My all friends have already started their efforts, and we will be now converting it to demonstration kind of farms, which will encourage other farmers as well as urban people to get into this entire effort of having healthy food, living with nature, and conserving biodiversity. So that's about our effort. As you mentioned, that Samyak Green is a social entrepreneurship, and we have 3 verticals to work. One is to promote urban organic farming. So we have many clients in Nasik city as well as in Pune, and we are promoting terrace gardening on one hand, and we are also developing their gardens as edible gardens for using the similar techniques which we are using on the farm. That is one. Second is we have now a full setup of ecotourism in Nasik on our farm, which basically is a place for urban people to come and spend and experience green lifestyle at least for one day, where we need to live with bare minimum water, where we need to go away with the internet. We don't have TV there. We also encourage people to touch the soil, play with the mud. Children enjoy this. Then we also encourage them to get into farm related activities and enjoy. So that is second vertical, and third vertical is we are now helping other. I should be speaking about this concept. Iman, see, in my past 12, 13 years of being agriculturist, I realized that many of my friends or many of urban people are interested in this, and they have experienced agriculture sometime in their childhood with their grandfathers or mamas, or somewhere they had gone for picnic, and they have a lot of willingness to go back to villages and do some kind of gardening or agriculture. And in the mid-career change, they put their investment in land and they buy some land and start agriculture. And I keep discussing with many people, and I have done case studies. Now I have got 200 case studies with me who came in. So I call them as neo farmers. See, we have some linkage with villages or agriculture, but due to the entire race of career of past few years, we were not able to look back to the entire sector, agriculture sector on one hand, entire rural sector on the other hand, and then we go back. And so we have ties with farming, but we are not farmers. So we are neo farmers, and there are n number of challenges in front of neo farmers. And what I realized from my case studies is that almost 97% of them drop out due to various reasons. I'm actually documenting them, and I will be taking them to some press for publicating, because many people are still investing in that. So it's a kind of awareness. Now what is happening is that these neo farmers also need a lot of assistance. So Samyak Green has one mission of reducing dropout rate of neo farmers. That is very important, because many times when big industries do come to rural sector, they come in with the interest of profit. So they will be taking some major share of whatever turnover will be happening at the rural level, and then we will be getting some employment kind of thing. And many of the industries are walking in. But these neo farmers are genuinely investing in rural areas, and their investment is also significantly important, though small. It might not be in the crores, but whatever saving we have, and we are investing in it, so we should be able to sustain that investment, so that rural development, as well as us as urban people, are also benefited. It should be a mutual kind of benefit, and that is why sustaining neo farmers is one of the mission with Samyak Green, and this is the third vertical. So we work with neo farmers, we help them to develop their farms on one hand. We also give them some significant knowledge inputs on biodiversity and farming. We also provide them legal support. In some cases, when farms are barren land, then we need to develop entire watershed of the farm. So we provide that kind of skill. So these are the three verticals on which we are working as Samyak Green.
So it was really quite interesting and fascinating to know like how you are connected with the grassroots and working on ground level to promote this agriculture sector, and also promoting other youth also to contribute to this agriculture sector and promote this new farming that you were talking about. It was really quite interesting to know and inspiring too. So, sir, moving on, I would like to know about like how the global food system is, and the stages that are involved in this, like such as using of fertilizers and the usage of land for farming and packaging. All these the processes that are involved in this global food system is currently contributing to GHG emissions. According to a study, like 26% of global GHG emissions are, emitting from this particular sector. So could you please tell us about like how this food production system is, contributing to this GHG emission, and what are some key measures that one can adopt to, reduce these emissions, and as well as building resilience of the people engaged in the farming sector.
Great. When I read the questions sent by you, and I was also preparing, and suddenly I felt I shouldn't be speaking much about data because the entire internet is flowing with data, and everyone is governments, international agencies are also concerned with reducing carbon footprint due to food production system. For the youth, I will just put a quick example of how food production system increases energy consumption. And you can take this example with you, and whenever you will be having food, you just need to think about this example. And then I will also give two or three major solutions which we are working on. So, like for example, when we eat the bread, the bread packet which we get at say 25 rupees, and we get different varieties of breads now, multi-grain, then milk bread. So how this bread is produced and how this bread is consumed is a very interesting example to understand carbon footprint. So farmers are every year governments announce that how much food need we have, and it is in metric tons, and then accordingly the crop planning is encouraged. I will just put my TV. Food production is encouraged now. When government says that we this year need XXX metric ton of food grains, it clearly means that we need carbohydrates. So government primarily, or government or international agencies as well, primarily are looking at 3 or 4 crops: gehu, wheat, makai, corn, and rice, paddy. So these are the 3 major crops on which they calculate the food need of the population. And then farmers are encouraged to produce more and more carbohydrates or the grains, or that is why 2016 was celebrated by UN as International Year of Pulses. Understanding the role of pulses in human diet, that pulses provide us protein, and pulses also play a significant role in keeping fertility of the soil alive. So that's why government that year was celebrated as International Year of Pulses. Now coming back to bread, so farmers are producing more and more and more grains, and those grains are harvested. Now in earlier years we used to have human labor to harvest grains. Now we get machines, and those machines are huge machines. Even in Maharashtra we get them now. They were not available till 10-12 years. Now they come and they harvest the entire farm. So all the production of the grains has already consumed urea or the fertilizers. We in our area we popularly call it as samrat, so which has got NPK, high NPK. So for production of all these fertilizers, we have already spent energy. Then for harvesting, we are spending more energy in terms of diesel and machinery manufacturing. What happens is that once it is harvested, we take it to the market yard or the Bajar Samiti, and we sell our grains there. So there is a trader who collect all the grains from farmers. That wheat is then gathered together and it is transported. So first transport has happened from farm to market. From market, then it goes to bigger market or the go down. From go down, then it is again transported to metro cities where bread will be produced. So entire carbon footprint gets increasing. Then from metro cities, from major mandi, it is again going to the bakeries. Again, transportation cost. Now, what happens in bakeries or in the atta mills is that in the mechanical way, we are getting flour of the wheat, and then bakeries are utilizing. Again, transportation and energy. Bakeries then are preparing bread using electricity. So again, new form of energy is utilized, new. Then bread is created, packaged, again energy requirement. It is then sent to market. Again, sending to market, it doesn't go directly to the retail shop. It goes to the bigger trader, then to the small shops, and we buy it. So this is the entire energy consumption of creating one piece of bread, from manufacturing of urea till bakery and packaging and coming to retail. Now, when we take this bread to home, we don't eat it as it is. So we need gas to heat it, or we need sandwich making. So we again need energy. If we have bought a big packet, so remaining bread will keep in the fridge. Again, energy consumption. Tomorrow morning, I need to eat the bread. Again, I will open the fridge, I will take it out, I will eat it, and the entire journey of bread will finish. Now, look at this entire journey where a simple food which has consumed so much of the energy and forms of different energies. It's very important to understand when a farmer harvests jawar or gehu or bajra from his farm, he takes it home, he takes it to the mill, flour mill, he takes the flour, he makes bhakri or chapati out of it, and he consumes it. The entire carbon footprint has gone down. So whenever we'll be having any kind of food now, we should be thinking of how much of energy must have spent for making one piece of sandwich, one piece of pizza, and we will be able to understand why global community is now saying 26% of carbon emission is happening due to food production system. Solution to this is, one, let us buy from the local markets. Wherever we are, let us try and find what best we can buy. Like now there is a greater awareness even in Nasik and Mumbai. So people go to a place called Ghoti. Ghoti is a hub where rice, many tribal areas, tribal villages are around, and there are also traders there. So they collect good quality of rice there, and you get it in a wholesale rate. So you don't have to. So whenever people are passing from the highway, they just stop at Ghoti and buy it. So let us try and get our things from the local market. Similar thing about vegetables as well. Wherever available, and now due to government policies, at least when I see in Maharashtra, I know few examples in Delhi, that local farmers have been given places to sell their vegetables. So we need to buy from there. So one way is this. Second way to reduce carbon footprint in food production system is, and this can be debated, and this has been debated, and I have got my own conviction about it, is produce your own food wherever possible. Every inch of the space which we get can help us to produce our own food. And there are many initiatives which have been taken. Like, for example, a person starts with a small gamla, small pot, and then the entire terrace is flourished with the vegetables. Or even I know some of the terraces where people are trying to grow rice. Or you can also think of, and there have been initiatives in in various places where groups are coming together and they're hiring some land around and they're producing their own food. So the second solution to this entire thing is from farm to plate. If we will be able to bring food from farm to plate, we'll be reducing significant carbon footprint or carbon emission. And the third solution to this is, and this is very now becoming globally popular, it is also known as slow food movement. It's an age-old movement, but now it is gearing up that not only local, but let us look for biodiversity as well. So, local varieties of vegetables. And it's quite surprising when many children visit our ecotourism site and we have an activity for children that let us find out potatoes from the farm, or let us find out palak, or let us find out carrot. And this quiz goes on almost for 2.5 hours, and very few children are able to identify. And it's a great surprise for them to understand how every vegetable is being grown. So now when we look at palak, spinach, we had 2 varieties of spinach. Today in market we get only 1. We had 4 varieties of tomatoes. Now we don't get them because so we also need to look at biodiversity in our diet, which provides us more healthy diet. Now we at Samyak Green are having a lot of invitation and demand for discussions, and people want to interact with us, is because COVID has given us an insight that immunity level has gone down. And there is a very popular term now, it has come in the market, which is called as immunity booster. What we are saying that the food which we had in our plate before 40 years was the immunity booster. Let us look at the biodiversity. Now, there is a catch in this, and we are also facing a lot of challenges in that. What has happened in past 30 years is that, not for 30 years, maybe 15, 20 years, we have got a food habit or a eyesight that we have. We are used to look at or see very uniform kind of vegetable. So every tomato should look like another tomato, or every spinach leaf should look like another spinach leaf. So everything should be uniform. But something which is grown without any of the external input never looks like each other. So there are criteria to identify natural food as well. And I have written few of the articles in Marathi where I was reminded of one of the Mausi who used to come with a lot of vegetable from her own farm on the head, and none of her tomato was looking similar. Every tomato was different. Every spinach or every methi leaf had some kind of soil attached to it, or some kind of pest attack on it. But the taste which we used to get from that food, we hardly get it today from the food available. So another challenge is to understand how natural food looks and how natural food tastes. There are few criteria to understand that, and a lot of information is available on web on this. But we also need to now, it's not only a matter of knowledge, it is actually changing the food culture. The culture which has taken our eyesight into uniform kind of or very flashy, shining kind of things, we also need to now look at how natural food looks. So it will take some time to change our culture, food culture as well. So these are few solutions which we are working on, and we are getting mixed kind of response. So but that is how the journey goes.
So like how you connected a slice of bread to major subject such as climate change. It was really an eye opener, like what these stages involved in the production of a piece of bread is contributing towards the GHG emissions, and how it is contributing to climate change. So that was really helpful for us to know about like the intricate details that are involved in the production sector, and that was really helpful. And the measures that you also shared about like how to reduce these GHG emissions by contributing towards the local markets, and not to go for the big manufacturers, and also start growing out something from our own in the like garden of our own to produce something for our own self. That was really helpful. So we have reached to the end of the interview. So the last question of mine would be like, what is the scope for our young viewers to engage in this green economy that you are talking about?
This is a good question, and I was also looking forward to that. There's a huge scope today, and uh, we at Summit Green have started a quick activity. We call them as young innovators at Summit Green. There are three major principles on which we can work. One is recycling, rebuilding, and regenerating. These three principles result into a lot of innovations. And today, if you look at Instagram or Facebook, you will find many of the innovators are engaged in this. What we realized was that many of the youth have get some idea in their mind, but they don't really get resources or spaces to experiment, to try it out. So my first request would be, whatever thought we get in our mind, we should be speaking about it. Even a small contribution of planting a tree in a nearby place also can be a contribution. And I have seen many of the youth do this work passionately on one hand. Also, let us think more in terms of choosing green living as one of the area of our passion. I won't call it as a hobby. Everything starts as a hobby, but once we get it into passion, we also, I keep discussing about this with many people. Once we get into passion, we also learn to balance of our career and the passion. So let us look at this as a passion and get into innovations. More we get into innovations, we'll find the ways. And even if we might not be big, popular, famous person having 1 million views or kind of thing, but it will enrich our life. See, all difficulties of the life are now starting at the age of 40, which is popularly known as lifestyle disorders. And the reasons for lifestyle disorder is competition, stresses, and food habits. So these three aspects, if we will be able to deal with our innovation, with our passion, wherever we are, I won't say ki you should be going to some place and do your experiment, you devote your life for that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying wherever we are, let us look at our lifestyle, and it will help us convert. If we are able to convert it to passion, it will help us to live our life in a very good way after 40s. Otherwise, what I was reading when I was young, it was said that after 55 you get diabetes. Now that age has come to 40. We don't know what is going to happen next, but this young generation has got energy and innovation to take this forward. So three principles and converting these three principles into passion. So that will be my key message, and I will be always happy to interact with young people on WhatsApp or on emails or on Facebook, anywhere. I will like to provide, not me, but Samyak Green, all of us spread across Maharashtra will be able to provide you space and time if you want to do something innovative. So that's it. And I'm very glad to speak my things, because I generally speak face to face, but they come with a lot of examples and all. I'm able to articulate this very quickly in these words. So thanks for
So,
giving space to me as well.
so this must be really helpful for our young viewers also, like how put it out, like take it as a passion or as a hobby, not as a responsibility. So that was really helpful. And this discussion must be a booster for our more motive of our Voice Planet platform, and this must be really insightful for our viewers also, to get some knowledge about the food production system and how it is contributing towards greenhouse gas emissions. And the key measures that you have shared also are like an eye opener for us, and we can adopt these measures to contribute towards climate change action and contribute towards a better future. So thank you so much, sir, for joining with us and giving us your valuable time. And thank you, sir.